With the 29th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Guyton, tackle, Oklahoma.
Well, there you go. I had 8 tackles in my top 50, and I believe that ties the record. We'll get that confirmed, but that's the 8th tackle to go here in the first round. Tyler Guyton, he's going to be the eventual replacement for Tyron Smith, who's now a New York Jet. We talked a lot about Mims earlier. 8 starts. Not many more starts here for Tyler Guyton. Inexperienced former tight end, but look at the dimensions. 6'7", almost 6'8", 322 pounds with outstanding athleticism. When you talk to their offensive line coach down there at Oklahoma, he told all the scouts that went through there, I've never coached anyone more talented than him. And think about all the offensive linemen that have come out of Oklahoma over the last few years. He can uproot defenders in the run game, whereas Mims I thought was a little more polished as a pass protector. He can get more movement in the run game. Here he is at the Senior Bowl trying to rework his hands. A little bit of an up and down week for him down there in Mobile. You see the hands get a little bit wide there. There's coaching points. There's things to work on. CD raw. He's a raw player, but again, upside, unlimited.
They get a guy in Tyler Guyton here who provides them maybe some future here, Lance, at tackle.
So you have to find out what Detroit's doing, right?
Yeah.
The trade up, they tell you what they're going to do. Then you start running the math on everything. They may have gotten a little nervous there when the Chiefs traded up, but really good job, smart job by the Dallas Cowboys of moving back and still getting a tackle that many of us had targeted to the Dallas Cowboys. So Tyler Guyton is a high ceiling player, but he's got to play more football. There's no way to speed up the process for him. He hasn't played enough football yet to be able to really understand all the tricks that are going to be thrown his way by the NFL rushers. Some of the push-pull stuff that he's going to have to take on Bucky, that's going to be new to him. But he's long. He's got the athleticism to play on the right side or the left side. And I think as he learns the position, and it's going to be his ascension to becoming a really good tackle could be very, very fast.
Yeah, it could be very fast. Former tight end making a transition. You think about what the Cowboys have been able to do with offensive linemen in the past. Some of the guys, like even the guy they took from Tulsa, wasn't a polished guy, but then he gets to Dallas and he plays really well. So maybe Guyton can be on a similar track, gives him the versatility to play right tackle, left tackle. They may not have to move Smith outside.
And look, the Cowboys get back to their roots, right? This run that had brought them to the top of the division a number of times was really keyed when they went heavy on offensive line. Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, and now went back to that well last year with Tyler Smith, and now kind of continue to rebuild that Great Wall of Texas.
With the 56th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Marshawn Kneeland, defensive end from Western Michigan.
All right, so they go to Kalamazoo for their pick. Across the state here, it's Western Michigan's Marshawn Kneeland.
Yeah, they lost Dorrance Armstrong in free agency. This is a rugged, physical football player. If you saw Tuli Tuipulotu play for the Chargers last year, their second-round pick out of USC, you'll see a lot of similarities. Just real rugged, physical, knock you back at the point of attack. He's got a nice little inside counter move as a rusher. The effort is tremendous. I thought he was able to adjust playing run to pass. So he's going to shut down the run, and once he realizes you're throwing the ball, then that's where you see that effort and you see that stick-to-itiveness. Time for Next Gen Stats powered by AWS. You look at those athleticism scores for edge rushers. Those are some big names we've seen come off the board already in Dallas Turner and Chop Robinson. But Marshawn Kneeland's right at the top in terms of the athleticism.
You mentioned the power that he plays with, the force he plays with. That means matching up with Philadelphia, their tackles with Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. Being able to handle them at the point of attack and be able to help out Dallas. You mentioned Dorrance Armstrong no longer there. Position of need for the Cowboys, trying to fill it.
It was Marshawn Kneeland. So we were totally wrong. Off base here. We went running back, we went receiver, we
got
went
Rush.
linebacker, now we got Rush.
We got Rush.
Why not? You can never have two men.
I like the combination of Tuli Tuipulotu.
Yeah.
I thought he really had a nice year when he was healthy this year. Marshawn Kneeland really came on strong during the draft process. This is someone, I give DJ a lot of credit. Marshawn, I didn't love him as much as Daniel Jeremiah. Daniel was speaking glowingly about him from the very first time he watched him on tape. And the more you watch him, the more he grows on you because he's not only rugged, but he's relentless. And as a pass rusher, you want relentless players because a lot of sacks in the NFL happen because of secondary effort. If you play with secondary effort, tackles sometimes will get tired in the rep or they just give up on the rep. They think the play's over. And you have so many quarterback extenders now that I think it's play extenders at quarterback that it's nice to have guys who rush with secondary effort because they're the ones that collect the late sacks that come up.
Work out last. That's what pass rushers have to do. You go back in Mike Zimmer's history, just think about the pass rushers that he's had. Everson Griffin, you think about Daniil Hunter, how he created those guys. This is someone that he obviously identified. He feels like he can get the most out of him. Be interesting to see how he plays for the Cowboys.
With the 73rd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Cooper Beebe, guard, Kansas State.
Well, they continue to address that offensive line. Remember, Tyler Guyton there in the first round. We thought maybe they would take Graham Barton. They ended up getting back out, trading back, end up getting the tackle. They come back and get an interior offensive lineman here in Cooper Beebe. This is a classic example, Joel, we'll say in scouting, bad body, good player. So when you look at him and you say, okay, gosh, is this guy going to be any good? How athletic is he? Well, he is. He can really move his feet. He plays extremely hard. If his arms were a little bit longer, he would have already been picked because the tape is really solid.
I mean, unnecessary shot here, but we call that a major Applewhite. I mean, sorry. I mean, that's just kind of what it is, right? Good, bad body, good player. Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year the last 2 seasons. Only guy to do that, or the last, I guess I should say. Guy you mentioned earlier, Creed Humphrey from Oklahoma.
If you remember Dallas trading down in the first round last night, they got a 3rd round pick and they just cashed it in for Cooper Beebe.
With the 87th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Marist Liufau, linebacker, Notre Dame.
Yeah, this is a fun player to study because of how they use him. They'll use him stacked off the ball, then they'll also let him rush off the edge a little bit on 3rd downs. He just flies around. He plays 100 miles an hour at all times, and that is a good thing, but also at times can be a bad thing, which leads to some missed tackles. But you talk about playing with energy and edge and passion. Those are the traits that translate very well to special teams. I saw Drew Tranquill with the Chargers kind of begin his career there and earn more time on the field. Then he gets a chance to go to the Kansas City Chiefs. The door opens for him on defense, and he took it and ran with it. This is a similar type of player out of the same college there at Notre Dame.
I love his energy, CD, and his bloodlines, too. Cousin with Puka Nacua, maybe another steal in the middle of the draft.
I wonder how he covers him, when they have the Turkey Bowl. Back in the day. Did he go out there? Did he press man him? What did he do?
Aggressively.
It had to be aggressive.
Yes.
But this kid is exactly what DJ talked about, being able to stack him, bring him off the edge, plays with a lot of thump, and ran a nice tandem with another linebacker expected to be drafted before this is over, and J.D. Bertrand at Notre Dame. Pretty good duo.
With the 174th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, con la selección número 174 en el draft del 2024, the Dallas Cowboys select Caelen Carson, defensive back, Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, so he has had some injuries in his background. That's one of the things that, hasn't always been a full-time starter during his career, but I thought he had a really good season this year, and I actually gave him a starting grade. I thought he was more like a late 3rd type of cornerback. He has adequate NFL size and play strength. He's got smooth start and stop footwork, which you need to be able to match routes. So I think he is somebody who can stay in phase on those vertical routes. He can maneuver around the different rub routes you see around the goal line. So he sees them. He's very aware of his of things around him. Pass breakup numbers were pretty good. He did miss extensive time in 2021 and 2022 due to injuries. So that is a concern. You never know how the medical flags check out there. I think from a plant and go acceleration standpoint to go break on the football, it's just very average. But I thought from a recognition standpoint, anticipation standpoint, and then the way he plays the football, I think Caelen Carson, to me, I thought had borderline starting numbers and ability.
With the 216th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Ryan Flournoy, wide receiver, Southeast Missouri. With the 217th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Bo Limmer, center, Arkansas.
All right.
So some back-to-back picks here to get us on time on our coverage here on Draft Center presented by FedEx. Let's circle back on the Dallas Cowboys, going skill and grabbing a wideout.
Yeah, the Cowboys, this is on brand for them. Like we just talked about a team like in the Warren Buffett thing where it's all big names, brand names. The Cowboys aren't that. They're penny stocks. They like to get the guys from the small schools and give them a chance. And so what you're seeing is an opportunity to do that. Like when I looked up Ryan Flournoy, it's a little small school. They brought somebody in last year. Was Tolbert?
Yeah, Jalen Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert, they brought him in. So they're really into developmental types. They want to bring him in. So 6th-round pick, he'll get an opportunity to come. I
think he's a poor man's Xavier Legette, honestly. I really liked him at the Senior Bowl. He's got good traits. He's very competitive.
With the 233 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, America's team, Mexico's team, world's team, my Dallas Cowboys select Nathan Thomas, tackle, Louisiana-Lafayette.
All right, let's get an offensive lineman here. Nate Thomas played left tackle, excellent size, 6'5", 332 pounds. This has been a sneaky offensive line factory there in Lafayette, Louisiana. Left tackle, had knee injury. You watch him, you see some power. He can really sit and anchor in pass protection. I thought the foot quickness, that was a challenge. That was a little bit of an issue with him going up against some more athletic defenders. But he can get you moved a little bit in the run game. And again, this is a place that's produced Robert Hunt. We've had
Kevin Dotson.
We've had
Max Mitchell.
We've had some guys come through there. So interesting selection here as they continue to add pieces up front.
With the 244th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Justin Rogers, defensive tackle, Auburn.
Yeah, he's a phone booth player. You see him at 330 pounds. Not really much of a plan as a pass rusher, but man, he is physical against the run. As a pass rusher, more of that kind of slow, steady pocket push is what you're going to get from him. But it's a lot of dude now. 330 pounds, big hands, long arms.
Look at him. If he gets that leverage underneath,
that's how he plays.
Walks people back and just stays there at the line of scrimmage. And if you're going to come to him, he might be there to envelop you.
All right, so that wraps it up for yet another draft night at the Star.